So, hi everybody and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 44 and here in this video we look again about notifies, but this time another way where we have more coding options and it's more modular, and let's get into it. We stopped here in our character. We opened up in our character a sequence, in my case, an animation sequence where I get an attack. I open this up, I open my animation sequence. This was what we created. And we learned we can add notifies directly in it when we right click here and add notify, and we have here much more options. Perfect. But the problem was this one are notifies with not much options. For example, we have here some options, and this notifies are bound, and probably there are a way to code here too, but I don't know it right now. But very important, they are bound to this skeleton. They are not modular. What I mean with modular is I show you now a way we can create an animation modify blueprint, which we can use in different characters or enemies or where we want. And how we do this, let's get started. First of all, we open our content draw, dock it here, go to our game file, and here we create go to the animations, and we create here this new folder which is called animation notify. So after you create this notify, let's open it up and then right click, go to the blueprint class, but I think you can find it here too. Perhaps I have not watched it because that's take a little bit time. But anyway, let's go to the blueprint class, and this time you see on top it's not uncommon, but we have here on the bottom all classes. You go there and then we write there AnimNotofy, and you see we have here two very important one. Actually, let me close this one. AnimNotofy and AnimNotofy state, and this one are the more important. These two ways there you have to read a little bit in the documentation, and this one we will use this both actually. But let's start with this one, and all the other things what you see here down, they are just another thing. And you see this play sound and play particle effect we already saw in our notifies too in the last video. But we click here on top, very important, on top, select. Then we name this I use here AnimNotofy, a long name, okay. And then I write here, let's say AnimNotofy attack, for attack. Because I can now use here many things for sound and so on. I open up now this AnimNotofy. Let me delete the other ones which I have here. What I have here, I will come here in a short. And when we open up this window, it looks a little bit strange, but not much. It looks actually very simple, because on the left side we have here just function variables and this kind of stuff you already know, and an add button. Also nice, what you know from coding, we need function variables and so on. And on the right side we have details, and interesting, in the middle we have nothing. But very important here in functions, when you go here we can go to override, and this override is what we probably need. And the thing what we need here is, for example, you can watch the other one too. We can name and so on. I can't show you all options, but this one, receive the notify, perhaps we click on it and then it pops up this function and override. We are overriding this function here. What I mean with that is we don't need to override it. We just keep this here and later we can override it if we need a new coding section. But before we do that, we go back to our animation sequence, and here I want to show how to add perhaps. Let's add here at the end something new. Let's say I click, very important, right click here, and then I go to add notify, and of course I have now to find this. For example, how I'm finding this, we have named it AnimNotofy, and here AnimNotofy attack, it's on top, and you can see this attack is now here attached, but this one, when we open this one, it has nothing. Literally nothing. For example, when we compare this one here, I could add instantly an effect on it, which makes it very fast. But here we have a problem. We have nothing. We have only some color settings and so on. But the point is here we have nothing because we can now program this. So it's similar to that what I did here at the start with this spawning, which comes after the sequence. And the difference is now we can program this part and it will use in this sequence. That's the nice thing. And that's why it's modular. We can use this blueprint, or this one is actually a blueprint AnimNotofy. I should rename this to blueprint. Perhaps we make it instantly. This one I delayed fast. And this one we rename this to blueprint because that's very important. Blueprint underscore AnimNotofy. That you know that this one is a blueprint. A blueprint means all time something to code and can be used in different places most time. So, and now I want to add here something because the problem was, okay, how I add now here something. Let's add, we learned already how to spawn an emitter, right? Like here, this kind of stuff here, we can just, for example, just copy, Control C, and then I go here, Control V, because I'm lazy to write. And I mean all the things, but of course I repeat it for you again because so I show you. You can right click here in the blueprint and then search the node. That's the important node, spawn emitter, and emitter at location or attach. You can check the documentation which you need. Let's make here at location, like here. Then you have this node. And we talked here already about this kind of stuff, and so I think I skipped this. That's why. And the only important thing is this node to find, and then this location, we make it again on the character and so on. And here set a new animation perhaps. Let's see, let's add here anything. I add here randomly anything, so I don't know if this will look good or nothing. Let's see what there was something. What is that? Let's go for this one. I don't know. And let's see, I connect now this one here, just here, and I connect this one here, just here. And let's make the code all time a little bit more, let's call it more readable, because this one, what I have here is not really, not more readable. Readable means you won't just see it, and yeah, something like so. Later when you follow this code again, you won't just see it, how it goes. So all is set up. This node we already discussed. It's the same. Here we just added here to our blueprint. Now I go to compile and it says a problem that's not intended. Why is this not working? Okay, this self node is not working. I have not self. This blueprint is a separate blueprint. That's why it's not working, because the self what I copied was in character. Now we are not anymore in character, which is a little bit annoying, because now I need a reference to this character actually if I want this one. Of course you can make this fast, but is here a construction script something? Because I don't want to make it here probably. Yeah, there are different ways to get this one. I show you now a very bad way probably, because I thought here is a construction script or something. Let me see if I find this. We just go on. Later think about it if you have here something like a construction script. So let's get it. So how we get the player? We learned this in coding a little bit. All time get player. This one works not in got owning player perhaps. Get owning player. No. Get player controller. This one will not work in multiplayer probably, because I just get the player number 1. That's enough. For single player works all time, but multiplayer this will not work. Still we get it, and then cast to your character, cast to BP. Cast BP. What is that? BP. blueprint. Okay, this is not possible. It's not possible here. Okay, let's forget this because I don't want to waste time. You will. Okay, let's get let's get this one. That was not good. Okay, there is a way of getting now this code and so on, but I will not make this one and waste time because here I want just show this spawning things. Later we will add here the code. So you have this emitter. Let's spawn this at this position, whatever. This will work. Compile, save. And now when we go here to our sequence back, and now I have this one, it spawns here something like fire or what I have there. So let's make here another emitter perhaps, because this one is not very visual. Let's compile, save this one. Oh, here, nope, here. And let's watch this one. Now I have here something like this. Something like that. That looks cool. Anyhow, on backtrack. Okay, let's check this out, how this one looks. The problem is this one works not because I have not the location set up right. Yeah, that's bad. So the problem here is just what you see. You have just to find the location, and the problem is I have not get the character, but you get the idea, right? So, and to get the location, it's not so hard, but I don't want to waste time. I want to continue because I want to show you one more thing. And the next thing is you can add also the state, but I think it's same. I think I skipped it. So the next thing is you can go and create here. I show you only how you do this. You go to your, again to your game, again to animations, in AnimNotofy, blueprint, this one, right click, go to the class, blueprint class, go here down to all classes, write AnimNotofy, and oops, AnimNotofy, and this time you can go here to this AnimNotofy state, select this one, BP, I call it now state, not a real name, make a real name, and then you see this one is similar to the other thing, but, and that's very important, it has more functions than the other thing. When we compare this one, you see here, I have this, for example, and when I see here, I have here some more no, not this one really. I have here more override options, I think. And you have here other things, and important is here what you have here is a begin and an end. That's very important. Well, what I mean with that, let me show you the state. I go to my sequence, I right click it, and now I find this new BP state here, for example. And here in AnimNotofy, I go here to BP. BP, why it's not here? Let me go something strange. I should, have I not saved it? I should compile and save this. Now one more time. Then I go here to right click. AnimNotofy state, very important. I was in AnimNotofy, that was wrong. AnimNotofy state, and then you go BP state. Of course, you can make all these things too. And here, that's very important. What I wanted to mention, you can see this other notifies which you have here. They have a start not or something like this, but this one has Q, which means I can extend and shorten this one like I want. This one you can't. That's the bad thing. But here I can make this longer, shorter, and so on. I have here more options to change the duration and manipulate the duration, and animations you want to most time manipulate as much as you want till you get the result which you like, right? This one looks not bad, but I think I stop with that, and I will try to get here the character location with import later. And that's for this video. And when we play then, it will also the sound change. Of course, the sound makes no sense. A spinning sound, something like so with vocal perhaps, but it's get and then change here perhaps also this thing here in the air. You with this one you can set this up, but I think I set this all up in the next video. So with that said, if you have any questions, write it in the comments. because I make all these videos on the fly and it's not so perfect, but it shows all the principles which you need. And read, of course, the documentation for more information. And that's with that said, see you in the next. Bye.